Hello everyone, let's do some drawing. First and foremost, thank you so much for all the support, all the subscribers, all the lovely comments, all the likes, and just hanging out. It's wonderful. So, this is our 100 plus celebratory celebration. And with that, the top two suggestions on the post were 100 frogs, and the other one was an alien making something out from IKEA. So, because they're joint, we'll do a bit of both. So here we go. An alien making an IKEA table, accompanied by a few riveting friends. So thanks to everyone that voted. And I've learned a valuable lesson. Never ask to draw frogs. But nonetheless, this will be fun. And I think it was part of it would be 100 badly drawn frogs. So I guess 50 badly drawn frogs would still be okay. All right. So there's one frog. Oh dear, this is going to be a long video, isn't it? And that's two frogs. And with that, I still have to make sure that I'm drawing the alien as well. So it's got a little bit of Cthulhu feel to it. I think originally I was going to go for some sort of more muscular creature like entity, but as I was sketching out the alien, it became very apparent that I wanted to do something like a little bit more tentacle and sort of Lovecraftian. Oh, God, words are weird. It's a long day, and it's nice and warm again. So bear with me. One of the lovely comments I've received lately was someone asking to talk about my influences, whether I learned to draw and sort of the artists and that sort of thing. So we could talk about that a little bit today while I draw all these ridiculous frogs. I suppose my drawing comes from comic book artists originally. I was always a great fan of Greg Capullo, which did some wonderful work for Spawn, as well as Tom McFarlane as well. Who else? Sam Keefe, the artist behind and the writer behind the Max series. I think that spawned quite a few of my little drawing things I do. I always have a little bit more of a flickiness when I'm doing hair or when I'm doing muscle structures. I'm always a little bit more exaggerated, and and I think looking at his work, especially, I kind of stop worrying about getting things wrong, because I think that's part of an interesting drawing when you've got when you're making things wrong. It gives more character, and it's not going to be perfect. Number three. Yeah, I suppose that's sort of it, really. I didn't really have any drawing training. I went to art college. I sort of just wandered about aimlessly in the whole time there. But it was still nice. But yeah, I think a lot of my influence was more around comics and cartoons and, pausing films on VHS when I was younger to try and, draw things such as the dragon from Dragonheart. I used to pause that for as long as I could before the VCR would go weird and cut out. And that's where I kind of learned how to draw dragons in a weird way. Yeah. Do you know, I only thought of that just now as I was talking. It's a long time ago. Yeah, so where did everyone else's influence come from? You know, if you do draw or you play an instrument or you write. It's such a good question I was asked. Be interested to know how people came to be. Right, so that's number 4. No, 5. Oh no, this is going to happen a lot, isn't it? Oh, only 45 more to go. So this was the instructions. And so one of the tentacles is holding this one side, and the other side, a frog has ripped it. So I draw a little cabinet here. And, sort of the arrows that go there and goes to somewhere else. And I think that's kind of funny. So that one goes to that bit, that goes to about over there, that goes over there, and basically just a confusing mess. So yeah. Alright, yeah, so that's kind of it. That's sort of my background in sort of art, and I've done a little bit of work sort of in the comic world, but not very much, just for a bit of fun, and that's kind of it. It's a very loud magpie outside my window currently. Hope you can't hear him chatting away. Right. So there's the alien's shoulder. And number 6, Mr. Froggy, got nostrils. And then I think we put a few more tentacles on this Cthulhu-like creature. On his neck. And a little bit of shading. Not much, just enough to help this madness of this drawing come about. And I kind of like the idea of the tentacles kind of mix up and look kind of like frog feet as well, because I like the chaos of this drawing already. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but it certainly is an interesting one. So it's kind of like the dice roulette game I've been playing with the drawings. And if you haven't seen these videos, they're pretty alright. Apologies, I think I'm losing my voice already. I'm not much of a talker in my day-to-day, but so there's a little bracket attached to this little piece of wood, and then this tentacle is wrapping around here, and then there's little wooden bits sticking out of there. I always find building anything from IKEA, I always have too many of these little wooden togs, too many bolts. I think, oh, why have I not put one? Maybe they do it just to mess with us. If that's the case, that's kind of funny. But maybe it's not. Okay. What number are we on now? Is that 7? Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So, no nostrils. And then a very loud magpie. And then his hand here. And number 7. Practically finished. Oh dear. I think he's going to have a nail on that one. Excuse me. And this frog here, he's jumping off somewhere. He's late for dinner. He's no longer helping with this madness, and he's going. He's like, it's dinner time. Good luck, everyone. So he's off. A couple of little spots. we go. 8. Right, his hand, his thumb, his nail, some creases on his wrist, and then there's another tentacle there I forgot about. This is a very sketchy one. Oh, shouldn't have been there. You know what, I can shade that off. Maybe it comes from his wrist. That's fine. Right, and his other finger here. Right, so what were we on? 8, wasn't it? Oh dear. Yeah, 8. I'm not going to count it again. I'm just going to try and rely on my memory a little bit more. So he's got loads of little bumps. Maybe he's like a giant alien frog. And he's building these little frogs. A little house to live in, maybe. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, maybe that's the case. So this is frog number 9. He's going to be like a little skinny frog, kind of like one of those Amazon tree frog ones, you know. Not that I know anything about frogs, but maybe it is. All the frogs have come over to help him. So that was 9, I think. It's a very strange mental game here. Count the frogs while drawing an alien. Right, a little eye there. Kind of looks quite happy, that one. Number 10. Do some more little bits here. Nice, 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 nice. You know, a little bit of, maybe sort of like water, like he's nice and wet for them. Nice and moist, it keeps them more healthy, so they don't dry up. Oh, sorry, now the car alarm's going off, so apologies if you can hear that. It's very distracting. Alright, another little frog coming up here. There we go. He's like struggling to get his foot in, but he's okay. There he goes. Sorry about that if you could hear the alarm. It was super loud. So number 11, probably. Alright, another giant alien foot or hand, some sort of limb. I'm kind of bent the wrong way, that one. His little nail. Maybe my little bits. There's a frog here. I think he's sleeping. He's all tuckered out. Had a long day building. Not very good cabinet. He's just having a little nap for himself. Don't blame him. I've built cabinets from IKEA. Some of them are hard work. Right, here we going. Here goes the number 12, I think. And this one's just, he's just watching everyone do this stuff. You know, he's kind of like, I don't want to join in there at all. Clever frog. Right, do some more little froggies over here. You know, before drawing this, I actually went online to Google, how do you draw a frog? It's strangely, I couldn't find any go-to tutorial videos, so in case anyone that likes drawing frogs out there, I think there's a little niche there that might need to be explored. You know, for the community of frog drawers out there, which I guess now I'm one of them. I don't know. Some more little pegs. And this frog's kind of being lifted up by this one. A mighty frog. Right. Oh no, I wasn't counting. 13? Yeah, 13 sounds about right. And this one. Drawings that make yourself laugh, you know. How are we doing for time? Okay, I think we should be able to be okay. I don't want it to be a very long video because I don't want to draw many more frogs. Oh dear, and I still have I've got a sci-fi drawing as well I'm working on, so I wanted to see if I have enough time to film that tonight as well. Or today. Which I should do, because it'd be nice to put some more sci-fi stuff on the channel, especially about the board game I'm working on. So whenever I talk about the sci-fi stuff, it's just stuff from my board game. And if you haven't heard me natter on about that before, it's something I've been working on for years and years. And it's sort of just a labour of love at this point, and you know, it's nice to just come back to, and I find it quite comforting now just to draw, you know, and make characters and, you know, ideas, write new mechanics. And funny enough, actually, because that game has been going on for so long, it's actually spawned a lot of other ideas. So, you know, ideas of stories and other games, which is quite cool. But yeah, so anytime I'm talking about the sci-fi stuff, that's what I'm talking about. 15, maybe. So yeah, I've got a nice little drawing I've been working on for a little while, and I just thought I'd finish it off. And also, it's got a nice image of the half ship. I think we did a little miniature version a while ago of it, but this image has got a lot more to show. 16. So that piece of wood's fallen on this frog. He's okay. He's just having a bit of time off. This is a very shifty frog. There. Oh, that's terrible. It's so ugly. I'm so sorry. Right, so what's going on here? So this one is, I don't even know what I was trying to sketch there. It doesn't make sense to me now. So this one's kind of like trying to help this wooden beam or some sort of weird crisscross structure. He's got his little tummy. There we go. And fingers on the other side. His feet. It's quite weird now. I'm quite enjoying drawing frogs. Isn't that strange? Maybe it's because it's too hot. My brain's just like, frogs. Everyone likes frogs. And I noticed that there was a few people that wanted to see the hag drawn as well as the Bjork, the big-faced orc character as well. I think he was going to be eating noodles. I think that was the idea. These things still probably will come into reality anyway, along the ways. But because this was voted more, we had to be truthful and do that first. And like I was saying earlier, a little bit happy that it wasn't 100 frogs. I'm not sure how I would have made 100 frogs look fun, but you know what? I think it would have been fine actually. I'll have to find out next time. Because already the channel's doing so amazingly well, which massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting it and, you know, just saying such wonderful ideas to discuss things, you know, and that's kind of half the battle I find, you know, drawing these images. I don't know what this is. I've lost track what I was doing, and now it's got its knee, it's got fingers? I don't know. This frog doesn't seem to mind that. And then, you know, little alien-y wiggly bits. I just thought maybe that's where the eggs come from. You know, the eggs of frogs. I don't think that's quite the case, is it? But don't some frogs live on the backs of their mums? Is that a thing? I don't know. I like these frogs that when they're folded, you can't really see what's going on, so that's what that one is. You know, do some little lines there and, you know, just maybe some feet on the sides. That's terrible. What is that? Ugh, wonderful. Right. 17, something like that. Right, let's just get some frogs out. We'll do a little shifty frog here. He's a bit sad. I use that little bump as his head, his mouth, sorry. And then another froggy here. And got a little knee. He doesn't look very happy about the whole situation. He's probably woken up this morning and told Jeremiah, you have to go help the big alien make some furniture. I wouldn't be best pleased with that either. And this piece of furniture, this bit here, has got this weird jigsaw-y sort of intersection. And then I think this frog is just taking it easy. He's kind of sat down like so, you know, like that, and he's sat on another piece like that. You know, he's taking it easy. He doesn't really want to do much more today. You know, maybe he's got a little hat. There we go, he's got a nice little hat there as well. And maybe this is a monocle. Yeah. I got a little chip in that one. 19? I don't know anymore. Okay. Another frog. He looks very similar to the one on the far left. Must be related. Very similar grumpy face, this frog. What else we got? I think we're about 19-ish. Alright, okay. Okay, so go on frog detail now. We'll do another frog here. There's little legs there. Is it just me or the frog's getting worse drawn as we go? Another frog up here. You know, maybe he's just kind of dancing. You know, like that. I don't know what happened to this frog. Looks like that one of those creatures from the dinosaur series. Remember when it's very old? It's like all puppeted dinosaurs. What was it called? I can't remember. This one's sleeping as well. I can't remember. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, please let me know. There was a baby dinosaur, I think the first episode. They were an egg, maybe. I think this is sort of 90s TV, which, you know, whenever I tell people about the things I watched when I was younger, like Ren and Stimpy and things like that, you know, I think people go, really? That was a show? I'm like, yeah, character building. I was always told, but when I think of it, they were really weird shows. Anyway, I digress. Right. I don't know how many frogs we're on actually now. Right, let's see if we can get a few more. Let's do another one here. He's also sleeping. Let's do another one that's fallen asleep on this one. And let's do a frog walking. Yeah. She's a happy little frog. She's just going for a little stroll. Yeah. Go on, Doris. Off you go. As we go. And we'll do another little frog here. Little nostrils. That's kind of a cop out, isn't it? We'll do, tell you what, we'll do a little chain of frogs here. So there's no sketch ready for this. We're just going to freehand this and see how we do. So, and that arm's going to wrap round. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. And it's going to be a big bullfrog. And this, he's got 3 fingers this time. Just kind of like trowels. He's got little eyes. This one's leg is sticking out there, and these are the legs there. Nice. And then on him, there's going to be another one, like so. Right around like that. I really like their eyes. I never really thought about it before, but it kind of reminds me of like goat eyes. Really interesting looking, almost alien-like. Might be wrong, but they also remind me of octopus eyes. You know, not quite, but a little bit. So we got a little chain from here. Maybe we'll add another one. You know, they're all kind of trying to stay on this single beam. For some reason, there's a little hand there, and then maybe his leg is kind of shooting off, like so. Do some little bumps. Little nostrils. little mouth. Okay, and then we'll have another frog here behind the foreman, not doing very much. As they're trying to push it back up, like so. 20-ish, 30, and then one teeny tiny frog here. Kind of like the drawing where I did that awful frog, and it's kind of, this is where it spawned this, I think. Spawned. Frog spawn. Anyway. And I'll draw another frog here. Particularly ugly frog. I feel sorry for him. I'm so sorry I made you so ugly. Poor little chap. Maybe he's having a day off. Need more frogs. And this one's kind of hiding over here, hiding away from all the work. We'll do another frog here, hiding. His little eye stalks. Maybe he's facing the other way. Yes. Right. I'll do another frog here. Right, how are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Did I count these already? Oh no. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Did I count those? I'm not counting again. Right, we're just going to do about 10 more and then we'll call it a day, I think. So if anyone's actually watched all the way through this, thank you so much for joining me and keeping me company on this ridiculous errand. I wouldn't have it any other way, because this, strange as it sounds, shows that people like my art and people like me rambling on and just having a little chat, and I think that's really cool. I think that's really lovely. Never thought the channel would have 100 subscribers in a few weeks. You know, I thought it would be months and months, you know, because it's hard to break into YouTube. You know, I've been thinking about doing it for a decade or so. I just never got around to it. I haven't thought, I didn't know if I had anything to sort of offer, you know, in terms of, you know, something different. And I suppose there must be dozens of artists on here, and, you know, a chat and ramble. But, you know, still, people like what I do. And that's lovely. Oh, he's smiling. Why is he smiling? All the work's going on down here. Do you know, I completely forgot there was an alien here, actually, just for then. Sorry, Mr. Alien. So it's a little bit unclear. Don't worry, when we do some rubbing out, and it should be a bit easier. I'm going to do another frog, sort of doing sort of gymnastics here. Don't know what he's doing. He's jumping up there, and maybe do a frog here. Again, not really sure what the plan is, where this frog's even come from. I guess he's jumped down from somewhere. I think I got to the point where I've drawn too many frogs, and now the frogs don't even have, usual appendages and usual limbs. They're sort of just frog-shaped creatures. Maybe they're all aliens. That could be it, couldn't it? And then let's have another frog here, who is clearly an alien. We have really long hands like this. He thinks he's fooled us, but I don't think he has. I think we know. We'll do another frog here. He's asleep as well. He's got his hands in together. Oh, that wasn't very good. Sorry, Mr. Frog. Wasn't paying attention to you then. And then we'll do another mini frog. We'll do a teeny tiny little frog just here. And then we'll do the last frog. Last frog we'll do, what should we do him doing? Maybe he's just kind of like this one as well. He's tired. He's had a long day. He's just gonna go here. God. Oh God. I'm so sorry. I've drawn him awful again. And we'll do that, and his little foot. His other little foot. He's just had a long day. He doesn't want to make anything from my gear. He just wants to chill out. Have some fly pie. Just relax for the rest of the day. And maybe his little tongue is stuck out as well. He's so tired. And before we finish, let's do a super quick count. If you count any more at home and I've missed them, let me know. But I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. There's one there too. Or did I count him? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And again, thank you so much for all the wonderful support, and my apologies for the frogs. All right, you all take care. Bye.